Hey, how's it going? Just gonna be drinking Budweiser. No alcohol beer, zero. And it's telling you about some stuff. Like I got a raise and a promotion recently. And I was working as a front desk agent at a resort, making reservations, checking people in, checking people out. And I recently got a raise and a promotion to front desk supervisor. So when the front desk manager isn't there, and which is pretty often. But because you're going through some family stuff right now, and when the night audit manager isn't there, then I'll be the front desk supervisor, and yeah. So I mean, it's interesting because for a while I was starting to worry about my future because I completed a degree, graduated from university in a 3 year Bachelor of Physical Health and Education. But my GPA was bad, and so and it's just and with it, that's basically a kinesiology degree, and with a 3 year kinesiology degree, you can't really do too much with that. So I had interest in teaching, but unfortunately, I can't really be competitive when applying to after degree teaching programs in university because my GPA is so bad. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that. So if you're in the same boat as I am, and then another thing I was worried about is that I don't know if I could go into a trade because trades can be very difficult. I think, like if you're a carpenter, you have to be so precise when cutting the wood and stuff like that. And if you make a little mistake, I think that the house turns out to be crooked and stuff like that. I think that's kind of how it would go if I was working on a trade like that. And yeah, I didn't know that I could. And then there was a bad GPA, and I thought about joining the military, but I almost got into the military a few years ago. Maybe actually, probably more than a few years ago. Maybe about 6 years ago. But I've done some drugs in the past, and I know that they kind of in the military, even if you've done drugs in the past, you haven't done them for a while, they can kind of deny you because of that. And so, but I think at least 8 people quit the front desk agent and night audit positions since I started at the resort, which was about 3 years ago. And so there's definitely a lot of turnover in resorts and hotels, I think. And you are pretty likely to get promoted if and get a raise if you work hard and stuff like that. And so that might be an option for you if you're kind of in the same boat as I am. Like people will just, yeah, they'll just quit, and then you'll be the most senior person there. And then if you're have keep your head down and instead of doing the partying thing and work hard, then I think you can be promoted. So yeah, but yeah, because originally when I applied for a job at this resort, I applied to be a house person, and so that's like with conferences. At the resort, setting up the tables and chairs for the conferences, the microphones, I guess, and then also we have we do shuttles because a lot of people that work at the resort don't have vehicles. A lot of them actually come from Australia and UK and other countries, Ukraine, and they come here and they don't have vehicles, so if they live in staff housing, then they can it's pretty close to the resort. We have staff housing too, and they can just walk to and from work. But if they live in a nearby house in the town, then the house person can pick them up in one of our vehicles, and they just charge $3 per trip. $3 from the house to the work, and $3 goes to the resort from the work to the house and stuff like that. So I thought about being a house person. Applied for that, and they told me that they're not hiring any house persons at that point in time. So, but they said we're hiring servers and bartenders, and then I was like, oh, cool. For a while, but I wanted to actually be a bartender, so let's see what that was all about. And so I applied to be a bartender, and sure enough, I had an interview, but I didn't get hired after that. But and then later on, I had applied to be a front desk agent, and at this same resort. And then I had an interview with the general manager, and then right there in the interview, I was offered a job, and yeah, and in the interview, I was mostly the general manager was mostly just selling me on the position of, that's about. I've had two really easy interviews in my life, and that was one of them. And I was basically, rather than being challenged in the interview, I was being sold on the position of why I should work there, and then I was offered the job at the middle of or at the end of the interview, and I accepted it. I had one other interview that was kind of like that. It was a teaching job in China, but then I got that job, and I taught overseas in China for a couple of years. But yeah, like for instance, when I had the job interview for a teaching job, an English job in Korea, there was a big difference. It was like I didn't get the job, and in the interviewer was asking, said, "You have a lot of work experience, a lot of different jobs. You seem to be bouncing around. Can you explain this for me?" And I think she was basically wondering if, challenging me, wondering if I had gotten fired from these jobs and stuff like that, or maybe if I was the kind of person who couldn't hold down a job. So, but that's no big deal. It was just a challenging interview, and I did not get the job. But let me just see here. Yeah. But I think I kind of put out an ASMR video that was kind of about talent versus hard work. And I think that a lot of jobs, they actually require talent. Like, for instance, being a carpenter, making those precise cuts of the wood and stuff like that, being a nurse, knowing how to properly wrap up a broken leg and stuff like that. And there are some jobs though that just require hard work and don't require much talent. And I don't believe I'm a very talented individual, to be honest with you. And but an example of that could be running a YouTube channel. Like some people do have a lot of talent in the way they present themselves on video and the way they speak in an entertaining way and stuff like that. But I have an ASMR channel, and I think it's mostly just about me working hard and putting out a lot of videos and writing a lot of scripts for the videos, and it's mostly about hard work. So you don't necessarily need talent, I think, anymore in today's society. I mean, so that's mostly the way it works for jobs in terms of pay grades. Like a dishwasher, some people might think the job of a dishwasher can be very easy. You're just like, and just washing some dishes, just taking your time. But I worked in a restaurant where the dishwashing job was very hard. I had to do it sometimes. I was a line cook, not a dishwasher, but I had to get in the dish pit sometimes, wash the dishes, and you had to scrub big pots that were like 3.5 feet tall, and the cooks would like, they're good cooks, but they would like burn stuff onto the pot. It would be hard to get it off, and you would get hit with a ton of dishes, and you had to run them upstairs sometimes, and the steam was hitting you in the face, and it was just a constant. It was a hard job, but it wasn't a high paying job. It might have been minimum wage because the job was so simple, and it would take a very short period of time for someone to learn how to do that. Whereas you have jobs like, for instance, medical doctor, which take years of schooling to do that, and so it's just basically you're getting paid on how much. A technical job with a technical skill set that's required, you to get paid a lot of money for that. But with a more simple job, even though it is a very difficult job, you will get paid a smaller amount for it. But now I think, for instance, with my I'm not making a huge amount of money with my YouTube channel, my ASMR channel. I have about 5,000 subscribers, and I'm getting about 40K views a month. But I'm able to pay my electrical bill, my hydro, the same thing, hydro bill, internet bill, and stuff like that, phone bill. With my YouTube channel now, I'm making about $400 to $600 Canadian a month off that. So, and it's mostly just the hard work. So it's interesting. There might be, if you just consider yourself a hard worker, then there might be an avenue for you, even if you don't feel that you possess a lot of talent. But I'm not trying to be judgmental. Maybe you can acquire a great amount of talent in some area and succeed that way. But now I finally got my scale working. My mom helped me replace the battery in it, and I'll throw my weight up now. And then yeah, so this is how much I weigh. I'm quite overweight, and then I'll show you what my body looks like right now with my shirt off and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm very much overweight, and I'm trying to lose weight right now. And I've got this stuff called Slim Fast. I don't know if you heard of it, but it's like you mix it with milk, and it only has, let me just see here. So a serving size 1/4 cup in 1 cup of milk, 2%, has, let me just see, 130 calories, I think. Or let me just, oh, no, sorry, 260 calories with milk, yeah. But I'm actually using whole milk because I prefer whole milk, so it does have a bit more calories, I think, so I'm pretty sure it does. But so I'm just trying to eat less. I haven't been exercising so much. It's very cold right now in Canada. It's February, and it's like, well, today is only minus 14 degrees Celsius, but in general it's quite cold. But there is a treadmill at work that I'm able to use. But I got this for my ASMR channel. I brought this from Bali at a recent vacation in Bali, and I got some plastic cutlery with one of my meals I ordered for room service, and because some people were complaining about my YouTube channel, saying that the sound of the metal spoon scraping against my teeth was kind of annoying. So I'm gonna try the plastic cutlery and see how that works. But let me just see. My other goals would be to, in March, I want to add $10,000 to my tax-free savings account. And so I'm not sure if you have one of those in the States or where you're from in the UK or wherever you're from. You probably have a version of it, but it's you put money in the tax-free savings account, it can grow inside that account, and then you're not taxed on the funds that have grown inside your account. On the interest you've earned, you're not taxed on that. So, and if you have just a tax-free savings account, that's it. You're not going to be getting much interest, but it's about having investments inside of the tax-free savings account. Like inside my tax-free savings account, I have a GIC, which is a guaranteed investment certificate, I believe. And that's like you're guaranteed to gain a set amount of interest every month. Actually, probably every day, yeah. And it's about 4%, and over a year, I think. And basically, you're guaranteed that you can't lose money. You can only gain money. But the one downside, so that sounds really good, right? But I guess the one downside to it is that the interest isn't huge. Like you can gain more off of having like maybe an ETF in the S&P 500 where maybe you can gain 10% interest a year, but with the GSC you're getting about 4 and 5% or something like that. So, but yeah, I'm not totally sure what I'm doing with this channel, with my non-ASMR channel, but yeah. But anyways, so we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.